Hey everybody, this is Eloise from Camp ASCCA, and you're listening to Camp ASCCA, the podcast, the show that dives into all things ASCCA and the people that make camp the incredible place it is. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media to stay up to date with what's happening here at camp. That's at Camp ASCCA, CAMP ASCCA. Hey everybody, welcome back to Camp ASCCA, the podcast. Today, I'm here with a special guest, Searcy Kelly. Hey Searcy, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
So I am 40 years old and I am a mother to 3 children, one of which is Eloise, our special needs child, and she's 12. She's got Williams syndrome. And then I also have a husband, and I grew up in Auburn, and we've been back in Auburn since about 2016, and life is good.
Yeah. And Eloise, how old was she when she started coming to camp? And how long has she been attending?
Eloise was 12. So this is 2023, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 12, 10, 9, 8. Eloise was 7 years old, I believe, when she first went to Camp ASCCA.
So right at the mark.
Uh-huh.
She started at 6. It's
Uh-huh.
been going for a while now. How did you hear about Camp ASCCA?
Actually, at Auburn High School, when I attended there, I was a member of the Anchor Club, and our philanthropy was Camp ASCCA. And so obviously I didn't have a special needs child at that point, but that was my first exposure to Camp ASCCA. And then when we moved back to Auburn in 2016, and I became involved in the special needs community here, we had some friends who sent their kids to Camp ASCCA, and I was just reminded of what a great place it is. And it wasn't even a question of if she was going to go, it was when.
Yeah, exactly. What was the decision process like for ASCCA? I mean, sending your child away for a week, had Eloise ever been away from you for a week long?
She'd been with my in-laws and my parents, but never away from us in the hands of complete and total strangers.
Yeah, college kids.
And college kids, yeah. It was a little nerve-wracking, but at the same time, we knew that these kids knew what they were doing. And again, having had exposure to Camp ASCCA as a teenager, I knew that they were well qualified and well trained, and that the focus of Camp ASCCA is those kids, and for them to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. What was the experience like as a parent? Like picking her up and dropping her off? Because I am sure when she got dropped off, she was super excited, and then when she was picked back up.
Dropping her off, I was so worried about, okay, the clothes, is she gonna have the right stuff? Her medicine, all those types of things. Eloise wasn't necessarily anxious or scared to be away from us. It was way more me. But then when I picked her up, the smile on her face and the excitement, I'm gonna start crying, was so overwhelming that we knew that we were gonna get her back there as soon as we could.
Yeah, it's a life-changing place because it's a place where everybody just belongs and they're free to be themselves and stuff like that, and they're loved on and they're loved well there. Have y'all ever been to a family weekend at camp?
So I did not actually set out to do a family weekend. I loved camp as a kid, not so much a camper these days. But in 2020, the Christmas camp, we were required to go with our kids if they went to Christmas camp. So I thought, okay, well, I guess I'm going with Eloise.
Yeah, get the experience.
Right. And so we went, and I'm so glad I did do that weekend because it gave me a chance to get in her world and see why she loves it so much, and to watch her kind of be the rock star of camp, and to see what she experiences. So I'm glad I did it. Yeah. And I encourage parents to do it, especially if you're nervous or wondering about what they're going to do. It's a great way to get plugged in.
Absolutely. What does camp mean to your family and Eloise?
It gives her a sense of independence that she doesn't get anywhere else in life.
Yeah.
Eloise is a little bit, quote unquote, slow. And so day to day at home, we don't have the luxury of giving her the time to get herself dressed or to do things at our own pace. And same with school and extracurriculars. So I feel like the ASCA counselors are very patient and willing to give her that time to do things herself and kind of give her a sense of ownership over her day-to-day activities. And so that's been important for us.
Very much independent, freedom, all that stuff that you want to be able to give yourself. It can't always necessarily when you're in a rush.
Right.
Like that. Have you been able to make any connections, like friends or business opportunities or anything like that?
So some of the dearest people in our lives have come through Camp ASCCA. One in particular, Emily Smith, was Eloise's counselor for a couple of years. And then Eloise and her best friend, Leela Tatum, got to be in Emily's wedding. And that has just, that meant the world to those two little girls. And Emily is still in our lives. And same with another counselor, Mariana Farmer, and all those. I mean, Eloise knows them way better than I do. And so we'll be going through town and be at the grocery store or something, and somebody will say, Eloise, and I'm like, who's that? And they're like, oh, I'm from ASCCA. I'm like, oh, okay.
I worked my first time with Emily. She was just the sweetest person. And I know that anytime I see Leela at camp or Eloise at camp, the other one is so close behind each other.
Oh, yeah.
They're double trouble. And
That's her best.
I do wear them. So we're here today at Auburn Med Aesthetics. Tell me a little bit about how you got involved.
So, my mother is a physician, and she started dabbling in the med spa industry in the 90s in Auburn. And when, as an esthetician, when I moved back to Auburn in 2016, she was ready to retire from anesthesia and focus on aesthetics full time. So it made sense, since I'm an esthetician, for us to start this little business together. And the Lord has blessed it tremendously, and we are busy and we have fun, and I get to work with my mom, and Eloise likes to come here and be treated to a little hydrofacial every now and then too.
What guy doesn't?
That's right.
What is it like being able to work with your mom?
It's so fun. We get along great. We bounce ideas off of each other. We're goofy. And then she's only here every other week, so that's why it probably works a little bit too, because we're not with each other every single day.
I understand. When I moved home from college, back in with my parents, and that was a tough adjustment. I love my mom and I love my dad, but being back together after having so much freedom, we were at each other's throats. But I wouldn't have changed it for the world. I loved it, but now that I'm on my own again, I'm happy.
There you go.
Like that. It works. We love our time together, but we need our time apart.
That's right.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us today. I know our listeners will look forward to hearing this episode.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
What's happening at ASCCA? This is the part of the show where we are going to talk about everything that's happening right here at Camp ASCCA.
Hey guys, it's Justin here, and I'm going to be bringing you a quick update for our upcoming spring weekend, which will be held March 24th through the 26th. Formerly known as Fun Fish, Spring Weekend will have plenty of fishing, but more of our usual Camp ASCCA programs for our campers to enjoy. Along with the usual fishing boat trips, we will be having our zip line, giant swing, bungee trampoline, canoeing, gaming simulator, and so much more available for everybody to have fun and enjoy. We will also be having a concert at the Back 40 with artist Will Stewart, and we'll also be having our talent show for the campers to show off all of their many skills and talents. We are looking forward to seeing everybody in just a few short weeks and can't wait until spring weekend arrives. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for listening to Camp ASCCA, the podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode and look forward to you joining us next time. As always, be sure to follow us on social media at Camp ASCCA and visit our website, campascca.org, for more information about camp.